You. What's up, everybody? Rage Cage 20 here. Still rocking the hat because my hair's a mess, so get, switching up today. Today we are back with Word to the Wise, a song by Mastodon on the Emperor of Sand album. That's what we're back here with today. It'll be a little weird to be back to the song itself because that means we've heard it before. We're back with Mastodon. We got Word to the Wise today, not of the Wise, to the Wise today. I don't know what we're in for. I imagine we're going to get similar to some of the non-video kind of stuff that we've gotten before. But hell, I'm often surprised. I was going to say I've been surprised before, but actually I'm often surprised. Which I like. I like when they keep it fresh and surprise me. With bands, it's just in general, but Mastodon's also amazing at that. And I've loved everything I've heard so far, so I can't imagine that being any different. Let's not waste any more time here. Let's get into this bad boy. The split second that I usually hear when I full screen these bitches, it just sounds like a really strong hit. So it sounds like it's going to be boom, up in your face, action packed again. I just hear like a. So I have, don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be intense. So here we go. Fuck, man. Fuck, man. Shit. You know, it's so crazy. The way this goes. That was, a lot like kind of what I expected, but then also there's some good. I mean, yeah, some good shake up in there. There are little shake ups here and there. It's kind of like it's kind of very similar to the way they've been writing some of these songs, but they changed some things up and kept it pretty fresh. So I like that. I like that right at the gate. But what I was thinking as I was writing this out, I was just like, oh, this song is very similar, very similar. Just kind of the usual, the same old stuff I've been saying. So I probably won't take as long as this one. Just got a few things to say here, but as the song continued to go out, there was more like adding stuff, going back and adding little things here, more pluses, and just here's another thing, here's another thing, here's another thing. Oh, I definitely want to check out this section. It just kept adding up to what I thought was gonna be a little bit to just it just got bigger and bigger, and damn, dude. Again, just I'm continuously surprised by the writing of Mastodon. Like, and the surface level, when you just start to get into it, like just beginning the song, it seems like, oh, it's very, it's like, okay, it's pretty standard rock metal song, just whatever. But then once you start listening to it and it starts to unfold, it's just like this writing is so complex and there's so much happening that I have to keep going back and like adding little things here and there, like, oh yeah, don't forget that part, don't forget that part. It just impresses me. It just doesn't fail to impress me every time I listen to one of their songs. That's awesome, and that's a testament to this the lasting power of this band, and also just their writing skill in general, and their musicianship on instruments and vocal lines and stuff. It's pretty fucking cool. Alright, let's get into this bad boy. Let's not waste any time because we got a lot to get through. Well, ish. A lot ish. I mean, probably a lot. So let's try to get through this semi-succinctly. I don't want to spend some time on it, but like, let's not overspend time on it, right? Let's keep it going. We all got probably stuff to do. Some of us might not. I mean, the only stuff I got to do is this, so eventually eat. Anyways, I'm on a tangent. We don't got time for that. So right at the beginning here, we're just gonna look at kind of the intro into the vocal intro. Well, the kickoff of the vocal line. I loved a lot of what the drum was doing in this. There's a lot of interesting rolls that was going on, and also the vocal line was I feel like a lot faster than what I've heard from them before. It was just kind of very like pushing out the words and just a very fast tempo. Because usually I would say that the instruments in these songs, when they're really pushing the tempo and really having this fast driving rhythm, which every time I listen back to these songs, like I'm really impressed by how just good their driving rhythms sound and just how much energy it gives to the song. But usually the vocal line's kind of at a moderate speed, moderate tempo, and then it goes to a slower tempo, which they have that slower tempo in here, which I will mark later. But it was more of a fast-paced tempo, even from the vocal line, it was just a nice shake-up. It was very different, very cool. So let's listen to those two things. First off, there's some tight rolls in there, very nice. Just kind of random, sporadic hits in there, more emphasis on certain beats. But I just love how it's just very rolly, very trebly, and what's the word I'm looking for? Not airy, but kind of almost like staticky kind of sound. Just a lot of treble going on in that drum line, and just some random hits, and then hitting some cymbals, and then coming back to the drums. It's just so much is happening there within that space. It's just great playing around and work there on the drums for sure. That was some tight rolls there. There's some fast blasting beats there. That is nice. All right, let's listen to how fast these vocal lines come out here too. only giving maybe like 2 beats to pause in between each line. Uh, I could easily see that being a bigger separation from line to line, which I feel is like what I'm used to hearing so far from Mastodon. But he's giving it like 2 beats and coming right back into it. It's just very rushed going through here. Good rhyme scheme going on. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, just giving it 2 beats and coming right back in. Fucking, that's awesome. Alright, what else we got here? Around 30-ish seconds here, so we can let it keep rolling out. Masto, that's what I said. Mastodon, kind of open, spacey airiness when we get to the siren sounding. I didn't hear it part of the lyrics. But also on top of that, I got yell plus check the words. That does a yell, right? I can't imagine saying anything else. So yeah, we're gonna just explore the vocal line here at that part, but we'll let it get through the rest of this verse. There's no T in verse, but I want to put them in there anyways. Yeah, so we have that, just kind of that, like, even the tempo feels like it, like slows down for a little bit. It gets very, they put that kind of echoey, panned back, kind of faded vocal effect that I've heard many times on his voice, just creating that very open sound, very spacey, meterless sound. But this one, which I think is maybe different than what I've heard before, is that it sounds like he's yelling it out this time. Where I feel like he just kind of gets kind of free with it, kind of soft maybe, kind of just smooth. With this one, he's just yelling it out, and the words themselves, siren sounding, like a siren singing stuff out. I didn't hear it. I couldn't hear the siren. Interesting. Very interesting. I like those words. Not exactly sure what he means by them, but I like those words. Very clever there. So let's play it back a little bit. Let's hear all this going on. Strong, great in my voice. Then we'll right back in. Fucking awesome. Also at this part, I wanted to check the guitar riff. It's not, I mean, I want to say basic, but I feel like it's basic compared to the craziness that I'm used to hearing from Mastodon, but that by no means means that it's bad or that's basic. It just, it wasn't something that was just like, whoa, check that out. But I definitely wanted to listen to it because it sounded like a pretty bitchin' guitar riff, so I definitely want to hear that. We got till 125, so let's just listen to this guitar riff here. Let's pick this apart a little bit. I kind of like at the end, kind of goes now, kind of like has like a little bit this like fraying kind of losing control sound, and then it comes back to this just kind of like this is a very it's a nice riff, but it's kind of very just kind of, I won't say chilling, but definitely nothing in this song is like chill, but just kind of just a grooving, just rocking out fucking riff there, nothing like crazy flashy, but also has a nice build to it that goes back and repeats. Yeah, just overall sick guitar riff. I like it. Let's jump to around 120 here. Whip, boop, bop, bip, bip. Man, there's so much going on here. I think we're just gonna have to listen to it. So I have change. I don't know if that's supposed to be VP check. I don't know. Whatever. Other vocals, right? Check out for other vocals. Yeah, sure. Press the drum. Press the kick roll. Just so much happened here. But I feel like at this part, I think if that's right, Yes, pretty sure. I'm pretty sure the other singer, I don't know who, but the other one, I think who did a lot of the vocal work uh, in Steam Breather and Show Yourself. I think it switches to him in this part, if I remember correctly. Plus, the drum work is just fucking cool. But it sounds like there's a kind of switch up musically too. So let's even go back a little bit farther and see whatever it was that I was hearing. Sounds like there's a little bit of harmony going in there with him as well. Cool. Yeah, it just kind of like it kind of goes to that kind of spacey airiness before, but it's like different. It still kind of has that a little bit that not necessarily speed, but kind of that fullness that was in the verses, kind of mixing with that kind of slow down openness to it. So it feels it's definitely a change up in what's been happening, but also I feel like they changed the vocals at the same time. So what's going on the drums here besides the fills and all that stuff going on there? It's just that fucking that kick drum. It's really just all of a sudden it just rolls, just some blast beats coming out from that kick drum. It gives it this great almost chunkiness, just kind of it just adds this great sound to everything that's happening, and it's also kind of quiet at the same time. So you can like if you're paying attention, you can hear it, but like you're just kind of getting the flavor and the effect with it not really overpowering everything. It's very interesting. And then we come back. Yeah, I must have been off on this. Yeah, I said 145. It was not 145, but we got drums again. Cause I mean, goddamn. So yeah, this whole section here. Where have we been? Yeah, okay, we did get to that part. I was confused. So yeah, we got the guitar solo here. But I also want to check out the drums. I also said dead sound. You hear me made a noise at this part. I was like, whoa. Because all of a sudden, all sound left this ear, and it was all in here. And so it felt really weird. It felt like my headphone or my eardrum went dead for a second. It was very interesting. Plus the guitar solo, plus the background guitar. Just so many pluses happened here at this part here. So let's go through this. I'm going to even reset the video. Reset the video to give ourselves no distractions. Let's go through all this right here. Holy cow. This constant just coming in through. They're like machine gun like hits there. Fucking awesome. Yep, awesome. Yeah, even there's a doom kind of from like the bass or something in there that just makes it sound like just all sound just fades out of here. Like you just not like instant, just like doom sounds gone. And it's just like all gone into this ear. That's fucking cool. I can hear the hit from the hi-hat in here though, and then that guitar hit just came in through here again. So like it kind of fades out, but you can hear that almost like a ticking clock coming in for this ear still. It just sounds like it's right in the middle of your head. Great panning work. I love you. If you know me, I love syncopation and panning work. That's like my those two things is just like my favorite. That and triplets. It's moved into here, and there's just a held note here. And it's moved back over here, same thing. So the guitar will play a little lick and then just have this chord that will stay in here as the sound goes to the other ear, and then that will hold a chord as the sound goes back to the other ear. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even fucking notice that. All right. Okay. Okay. I also kind of like the. It sounds like they got a shaker or something in here because it kind of has this like very trebly sandiness kind of sound going on in there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a shaker. A very thin kind of reedy trebly shaker, but still. Yeah, I think they're just sliding it forward instead of doing hits. They're just getting the sand or whatever, beads or whatever the fuck is in the shaker. I still haven't looked that up. Just kind of making it just slide back and forth and not trying to make it like hit on one side. Just very interesting. Very, very interesting. Huh. God, how do you even describe that this guitar solo? Beautiful, face melting, fuck yeah. Those are the words that come to my mind. Because like it kind of, well, you got all that very trebly just pulse happening with all the percussion instruments. You just have the just kind of quiet guitaring going around, and then these background guitars are coming in and helping out. Let's see. Yeah, around 2:30 here when the when everything else is coming in. First, as I was mentioning, I kind of mentioned how we got the kind of solo, and then you got the background guitars doing stuff. Around 2:30, I say guitar screech because it starts getting very, very distorted and screechy like. Plus the second solo, which was insane. The beat drop in there. Like, let's just listen to this tasty ass solo. I love that screech in there, man. I feel like I've heard. Maybe the first thing that comes to mind is maybe like a Zakk Wylde kind of Ozzy Osbourne kind of solo. They're just kind of just start flying across the frets. That's a great way to start off. Just this screech into just crazy fast notes. And I love the while it's just going crazy, just very fast picking stuff. You have that kind of stuff from the other guitars and instruments going in the background. It's creating this great vamp for this solo. Oh man. And then just everything just falls off there, just stops. But you have the guitar kind of fade off. It kind of reminds me of the I think it's about to drop here too. The end of Guitar Hero 3's version of the metal Devil Went Down to Georgia, when you're going off against the devil, and just kind of everything just kind of cuts off, all the sound stops, and it just kind of has the echo of what just happened. And then just and just starts going fucking crazy. It's giving me that vibe right now. And then it just kicks back into the last outro vocal section here. Because it's not really it's not, I don't know if it's really the chorus. It's like kind of the chorus, but kind of not, because like the siren sounding I didn't hear is kind of what you would consider the chorus at first, but then before and after the solo you have the I'd Fall Into a Pit of Lies, this whole section that's about to repeat here, which also now kind of sounds like it's the final version of the chorus, but that was kind of like the breakdown before the solo, so it's like a repeated chorus breakdown. All right. So for this was a vocal outro here. I put the vocal outro plus the blame rain inner rhyme there, plus the outro solo. So listen to all this here. I really like this. I really just like the vocal line on this in general. It's just kind of like just all the effects they got going on. It's just kind of smooth. It just sounds really good. I like that almost. It sounds like a tambourine hit in this ear, kind of around this zone. The tss, tss, that just comes in occasionally. Like every 2 beats. That's really cool. I was to blame for all the rain. That beautiful inner rhyme there, and just kind of the way it easily flows. I love that. I also like the fade off on there. Rain. It's good. Very nice, very beautiful there. First off, I love how fast this solo is going. Just, you'd love to get just a tasty, just quick note solo in there. Just just kind of stuff going, flying and whatnot. But it also sounds purposeful, not just like playing fast notes for the sake of playing fast notes. And it feels like the guitarist has a certain pattern and kind of phrase that they're working for, that they have in their mind as they're doing it. So again, it's not just random notes for the sake of random notes. It actually feels like it's thought out and planned. It's great. It's kind of interesting, cracky kind of guitar distortion fade out. That's a great song, man. I mean, what is there to say about that? That was good. That was really good. I like that. I like that song. Woo! Next, we got ourselves an Ancient Kingdom, which just based off the way the lyric website has the words here, like you have your standard kind of vocal written out line, and then all the rest of them are kind of very thin, like just very thin, as if like it's chorus throughout the rest of the song. And that's it. That's yeah, and it all repeats itself. Starting the Ancient Kingdom still remains, then the next chunk falling rain, next chunk after that falling rain, and then after that Ancient Kingdom still remains, and then at the end it's different. That sounds like it's layered to be a very fascinating song. Also, now we're speaking of this website. I was gonna mention this at the beginning of this video, but I forgot that I was going to mention this at the beginning of this video before I even did the video. That makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. I had mentioned back around the first that I wasn't sure if this was the latest album that they put out, because on the website, for whatever reason, this is the last album they have from Mastodon, but I think they made an album like a year and a half ago, and like an EP after that or before that, and neither of those on this website. So yeah, no, they've released new albums since, but for some reason this is the latest one they had. But the reason I questioned that in that video is because it's like 2017. I'm pretty sure they were working on a new album like 2 years ago. I figured like they would have released it by now, and they did. So yeah, I don't know. This website is not the best, but it tries its hardest, and I like it, so I use it. Anyways, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next in Ancient Kingdom, which should be very fascinating. So see you then.